Fortnite's taking its biggest risk of all time with the Simpsons season, and now the map has leaked. We've heard for months that we'll be dropping into Springfield, but it turns out it'll actually be our first ever fully cel-shaded Fortnite island. Now, there are all types of cel-shaded skins that have released in Fortnite, many of them loved, but fans are very worried about a map looking like this. And it's not a giant city like you would expect Springfield to be, especially from the leaked key art that looks nothing like the actual mini-map. But just from looking at it, you can see some of the POIs that fans have wanted for years, like the Springfield Power Plant, Evergreen Terrace, and Mr. Burns' Manor. But did you know you could also spot the town square, which has the Springfield Police Department and Town Hall? So people have started to complain about how small the map looks for BR, but this is actually fixing the problem with the Star Wars season, when players were angry that POIs were just way too far apart. Clearly, Epic are taking things in the opposite direction after the Star Wars season caused the lowest player count in years. But with this funky looking cel-shaded island, it is turning into a massive gamble for the future of the game. But there is another serious problem affecting players all month. You might have been playing Fortnite Mares, gathering mats, and thought, why do I keep missing the blue dot? Honestly, I thought I had just turned into a noob overnight, but this is actually a bug that's affected the entire month of Halloween. You see, if you have a one-handed pickaxe, every second hit just doesn't work. This is really bad, because half of all the pickaxes sold as Fortnite Mares are one-handed, which means Epic have literally been selling items all month that are pay to lose. The worst part is they didn't even tell us, forcing us to have broken pickaxes for a month until they just silently fixed it days before the season ended. And Epic's also getting blamed for taking money from people who don't even play Fortnite. So what's going on? As you might know, Xbox Game Pass raised their prices by $15 a month, and players were so angry about it that even the cancellation website crashed. While most normal fans were angry at Xbox for this decision, some people actually blame Fortnite. That's because in the very same blog post where they said the price was going up, they claimed it's because Game Pass was getting upgraded with new additions like the Crew subscription. Xbox fans were outraged, thinking that they're now getting charged an extra $15 a month to pay for extras like Fortnite Crew and Ubisoft Classics. A lot of them probably don't even play those games, and now they think it's Epic's fault that the Game Pass is ruined. It's not the only way Fortnite's been blasted by fans on social media. A couple weeks ago, an independent artist noticed that one of the K-pop Demon Hunters emoticons looked way too familiar. So they put out a tweet claiming that Epic had literally stolen their work and showed side-by-sides, the subtle differences, and how putting them over each other made it look basically identical. Some people were shocked by this, while others rushed to defend Fortnite, but all that really mattered is how Epic would respond. You see, it's not the first time they've been accused of this. A couple years ago, leakers noticed this spray in the files, and immediately fans realized it was a trace artwork from Overwatch. The spray never released because Epic clearly caught it, and when it did eventually drop, it had been changed. So whether someone at Epic did steal this K-pop Demon Hunters emoji or not, we probably won't know for a while because they have seen the post and are discussing it privately with the artist. There is another thing that's landing them in hot water with players. I was pretty shocked that people were mad about Springfield being cel-shaded, but I'm not surprised that fans are angry to hear about the Battle Pass. As you can see, we're getting a Simpsons version of Peely who looks incredibly derpy, and then we have Fishstick who is mixed with Blinky the three-eyed fish, so yeah, they're buying a Simpsons Battle Pass and only getting a handful of actual characters. This has been a problem in Fortnite for a while. Epic loves to throw in random remix skins all the time, and fans wish that they would just be in the item shop instead. Because now we'll probably see Bart, Krusty the Clown, and maybe even Moe in the shop rather than the Battle Pass. Well, it seems like sometimes Epic just doesn't want money because they're dropping insane collabs for Halloween like Poppy Playtime, only for it to just be Huggy Wuggy. Fans have been wanting this in the game for so long, and yet he's not getting any medallions, becoming a boss in the map, or any POIs, and he's the only character. It's saying a lot that this Fortnite Mares is so good that people want more of it, especially when it comes to K-pop Demon Hunters, a movie which has a soundtrack that's been #1 across the world for months, and yet Fortnite added the group of singers with no emotes or jam tracks. Think about it, their songs are shattering records on the charts, and yet we can't even play any of them. With how much effort went into this collab with the modes and weapons and POI changes, there is no way Epic wanted to miss out on this. So maybe Netflix just don't want the songs in Fortnite. But we can, without a doubt, blame Epic for one of the most expensive collabs in years. Because if you want all of the Scooby-Doo gang, you'll need to shell out 12,000 V-Bucks. For reference, that's $80 for a single collab. Now obviously, this includes a truckload of cosmetics. It's not like the outfits themselves cost that much, but if you're truly a diehard Scooby-Doo fan and want everything that's included, I mean, let's just hope you're not broke. It's especially a problem because Fortnite put all the different items into their own bundles, which means you don't get a discount if you want the Mystery Machine, Scooby, and Shaggy, and the other 3 characters. Because what that means is you gotta buy 3 different bundles. It would be easier to see exactly how much this bundle costs, except Fortnite's been hiding a setting that's already in the game. It turns out that in the European Union, a law was passed which forces Epic to show exactly how much V-Bucks are worth, so you could truly rate the value of a skin. Well, this looks and sounds amazing, but that's the problem. It's only in the EU, and Epic had to be forced to do it. The feature's already in the game, but they've decided not to bring it to other regions like the US because I guess they don't want us figuring out just how expensive this Fortnitemares really is. And fans have also been complaining about how the Mystery Machine forces you to drive around in a cel-shaded car. Let me explain this one. Now, it wouldn't be a problem on its own, except Fortnite went out of their way to design non-cel-shaded versions of every single mystery and character. So for them to not give us a normal version of the van, it does feel a little strange, and I agree with you guys on this one. By far, one of the biggest complaints of the entire chapter has gotten even worse this Fortnitemares. Fans are complaining about Epic's weird obsession with crop tops. Like, everyone's pointing out how most of the male outfits get really unique and non-human designs, while the women are put into regular clothing, usually a crop top. This Halloween felt especially lazy considering we got a prime example with Lycan West, a fully fledged werewolf, whereas if you wanted a female werewolf, you get this. Epic seems to have some kind of crop top epidemic on their hands. They're even doing it to classic outfits like Calamity, who's brought back for OG only to be given, you guessed it, a crop top. Fans just think it's weird. Now usually, if you buy cosmetics and Epic decides to just change them, they'll offer you a free refund token if you're unhappy with it. Just like recently when fans of Peacemaker were watching the show and had a theory. Did the dance from the intro have a secret symbol? Well, Epic kept asking themselves this over and over again, terrified of what would happen if the answer was yes. So they disabled the emote and then brought it back a couple weeks later with a different dance. And of course, if you were angry about something you paid for getting changed, you could simply refund it, right? Well, that's until fans realized they couldn't just use the free token on the dance. Most people originally bought Peacemaker's set instead of just the emote, which meant refunding it would force them to refund everything. Like, it's 2025 and Epic still hasn't found a way to split up your purchases. They also still haven't found a way to update the game without breaking kicks again. Because in the latest update, fans noticed that something strange was happening to their lockers. For whatever reason, on larger outfits, pickaxes and shoes were freaking out. Whether it was Optimus Prime getting huge hands, or Imani glitching all over the place, even Godzilla turned white. But it was pretty funny, so no one was that mad over it, but some fans did find it pretty annoying to wake up for Halloween and see their locker presets were cooked. And hey, at least we could actually wear all those things, unlike the customizable outfits that Fortnite scrapped. We just found out about an entire set of skins that would have let you put your favorite sprays and loading screens on their clothing. Sadly, a ton of leakers are claiming this has been canceled, and immediately fans were upset about it. So hopefully Epic decides to actually release these in the future because 1, they're awesome, and 2, it would suck to see them vanish forever. Players are slowly catching on to some of the weirdest Fortnite decisions, and it's all thanks to one guy, and that's the Dark Maw. It's easily one of the coolest looking Halloween skins of the month, and yet you could use it in any of the modes, including Lego. Like, that's something you should expect, except fans have looked back on a very similar Halloween character like Big Mouth and noticed he was banned from half the modes. The age restriction problem is still affecting people in 2025, and when you compare Big Mouth and the Dark Maw, it's hard to see why one of them is considered too scary for younger kids and the other is fine. Players are starting to get really sad over how their old outfits are getting treated. Like, your reward for buying these all those years ago is not even being able to wear them in modes like the Daft Punk concert. And while we don't know for sure if this is the reason, it sure looks like Epic has stopped caring about going back and fixing old outfits. Instead, it seems like they might be dropping all of these new ones and hoping you buy it because the older ones are age restricted. And you just gotta hope that's not what they're doing because it would be kinda messed up. One of the most exciting parts about Fortnitemares has to be the upcoming live event. Because according to leakers, this is going to be a fully fledged storyline event, which sounds amazing on the surface, but also taking us by surprise. It's safe to say fans have been pretty disappointed lately with how much of a mess the storyline has been. All of the Halloween stuff literally deleted half of the season, and the problem with the bugs and the demons was kind of swept under the rug. Basically, they're creating a live event around a storyline that's been ignored for the past month. On one hand, they vaulted everything to replace it with the Mother of Thorns B-plot, and on the other hand, they also tried to incorporate the collabs into the demon story, like with the Mystery Inc. gang investigating the Dark Presence. All we want is some consistency instead of Fortnite swapping every day between the actual storyline and collabs. And this could snowball into a bigger problem next season when they have to balance a chapter finale with The Simpsons. Well, that's still not as controversial as the fact that both Sonic the Hedgehog and Yu-Gi-Oh! Are in the game right now, but nobody cares. It's because of one reason, and that's that these collabs were literally just shoes. Sonic got a car and a few different kicks, and that's it. And those poor Yu-Gi-Oh! Fans out there literally just got some Nike Air Maxes, which look like normal shoes. The only way to tell this is even a Yu-Gi-Oh! Collab is when you look on the bottom and see a small stamp of the logo. It's something you would never notice in game, and honestly, it's probably one of the worst collab attempts in history. That's not the only mistake either, because Agent Patch, who's currently in the Battle Pass, has a banner that's straight up wrong. His entire character design, it's amazing, especially when you notice his black fur looks like an eye patch and he literally never opens his left eye, probably because, you know, he can't. Well, someone didn't get the memo, because fans have noticed his banner image shows Agent Patch with both eyes open, and once you've seen it, it won't stop bugging you. Now, I'll be the first to admit that some of the community's problems as Fortnitemares have been kinda nitpicky, but no one has the right to complain more than the country of Algeria. Let me explain. They're not even allowed to play the game. For almost the entire month of October, one of the biggest internet companies in Algeria has blocked off access to Fortnite. We don't know why or if it's an accident, but the problem got so bad that Tim Sweeney himself said he couldn't get in touch with the company and that he's been trying to get in contact with them for the past 2 weeks. Something we're all gonna miss is the first Biggie Smalls emote in Fortnite. We just found out that during the remix season, Epic was gonna drop an emote called Big Time that featured Hypnotized by Biggie. Been over a year, and we've only just found out about this, with fans praying it is not scrapped for good. So let's just hope they take this out of the vault and drop it before Chapter 7. Someone who should have stayed in the vault though is Jared Leto. It says a lot about this collab when Fortnite adds it in the middle of a season with Art the Clown and the Grabber, and people still think that Jared is the biggest creep. I'm not surprised fans are upset about this. It's like Epic could have added anyone from the Tron franchise, or even designed an Ares skin without Jared Leto's face, but they decided to add him anyway. And those are the biggest problems that Fortnite needs to fix before Chapter 7. Let me know if you guys agree. It's been Tommy, and keep it here on Top 5 Gaming.